And now, time for weekly show with a passionate India lover, chairman of ITV Gold and Parikh Worldwide Media. Get ready for loving sharing from physician, philanthropist, publisher, and India advocate in This Week.
Namaskar and welcome to another episode of This Week with Dr. Sudhir Parikh right here on ITV Gold. And, you know, as I always say, it's an honor and my pleasure to have him here with me, you know, talking to me and talking about everyday events. So, welcome, Dr. Parikh.
Namaskar. Namaskar all the ITV Gold viewers.
So, Dr. Parikh, let's start with, we had like another terror attack in India and, you know, a big car blast near Red Fort, killing, I think, 12 plus and injuring many. And looks like, you know, the government did a good job recently with, you know, catching many folks and plots across the country. But still this attack happened. Tell me, what else can government do?
Well, I mean, as you know, they are saying that all these terrorists are always one step ahead of us. So we have to be very vigilant. We have to be very alert. Mm-hmm. And this shows that government can do even better than that, because government have all kind of resources to do better than that. But somehow we are missing the thing, and that result into this kind of terrorist attack. And sometimes because of the such a large country, large population, it's very hard to identify who is a terrorist and who is not terrorist and so forth, you know. And so it's not that easy on government part either. So we don't want to blame government completely, but I think government can do better things and it should not happen.
But you know, coming right after Operation Sindoor, like, what do you think will be the next move of the government?
Well, government cannot do anything. I mean, unfortunately, government government cannot go and attack the Pakistan or terrorist people in the Pakistan, because again it will end up in having another full-fledged war. And we don't want that, because I mean, what happened in Operation Sindoor, we don't know yet. Really, how much now the President Trump is saying that we lost 8 planes.
Right.
So we don't know who is right. And our government says we didn't lose anything. So we don't know. So I think, war is not the answer to anything. So it destroys the economy. And as such, because of the high tariff of USA, our economy is already soft and a little back-footed. So I think war is not thing, and when we had a chance, we did not do anything.
Right.
We could have taken Pakistan occupied Kashmir. We were there, and we that's what Chief of Staff is complaining about. That we were there, and they asked us to come back. So I think it's too complicated thing.
Right. But, you know, I have heard like people questioning the time of the, you know, such attacks, and it happens around election times. So how should we read that?
No, I mean the people, those who are doing attacks, they might be calculating that if you do during the election times, and they don't like the government of the day, so that affect they think that it affects negatively to the government of the day, but it not necessarily. Sometimes by such attack, people rally behind the government, and on the contrary, they can support the government more.
So I have a question here from one of our viewers. His name is Raj from New Jersey. He is saying that with both polling phases over and exit polls out giving NDA a decisive victory, what's your analysis of the polling and expected outcomes? This is about Bihar elections.
Well, I'm not sure, but what I heard and I read news items, they say that the election is very close to call, and it's anybody's guess, because it all depends upon who did the polling. If polling is done by government supporter media, then that's what exactly they did in Lok Sabha time. They were predicting all 350 and 400, and it doesn't happen that way.
Right.
and they say sorry. I mean, that's all, they can always say sorry.
Right.
So I'm not sure, but I think looking at different news resources, it looks like a very close race. Anybody's guess who will win, because at the end of the day, who gets what, how many seats,
So, but in your opinion, what do you say, like, what did NDA do right and opposition missed, including the wild card of Prashant Kishore?
No, I think more than Prashant Kishore, I think NDA has done one big mistake in a sense that they did not declare Nitish Kumar as a chief minister's candidate. And I think Nitish Kumar is still very, very popular in Bihar. And he is only real politicians, senior politician who is there for last 20 years as a chief minister and never had any serious allegation against him for corruption or any nepotism. So I think he is very well liked. And what I understand that because of that, what they did is wherever there was a contest between BJP and RJD, all these Nitish Kumar people, they voted for RJD rather than NDA. So it means NDA people voted RJD. So I would be surprised to see the results because it's too close to call and we don't know how much. So what happened is all the NDA parties should help each other and transfer their votes to each other. And Nitish Kumar didn't do that. On the contrary, he put even yesterday big banner in the Patna saying that next chief minister is Nitish Kumar.
Okay.
So that is going outright against his own NDA group. So let's see what happens.
All right. I have another question from Vipin from Chicago is asking, looks like the government shutdown is finally getting resolved after a record shutdown period. And there is still no resolution to demands of Democrats. What comes next?
I think government this shutdown will end within next few days, and that's what my guess is because they already came up with the alternate idea about against this Obamacare healthcare problem because they are going to give credit, those kind of $1,200 credit to everyone in their tax return. And so he's indirectly giving money back. So I think that would fly, and they are only short of only 2 votes. And if 2 votes, 2 people from Democrat to Republican, they switch, then I think government will open.
All right. So let's talk about President Trump and India. And President Trump, hints at India trade deal getting finalized. And so my question is, are we like really close, or is, President Trump again going through what he might want?
I think probably my personal guess is he's going through what he wants. And he's talking about talk, but talk doesn't guarantee you lower tariff. And that's what we want. And we all hope that this talk becomes successful in a way that tariff should come down to at least 17 to 20%, not the 50%.
Okay. And finally, I have a question in my mind. It's about media and its responsibility. And our favorite Bollywood star, Dharmendra ji, he is in treatment in hospital. And, a lot of lead medias, Indian medias, of course, they jumped the gun and started to play the, breaking news about his demise. So tell me, is this like a race for TRPs, like ethical for prime media?
No, of course not. And they should not run this kind of wrong news prematurely, because at the end of the day, he was a very well-liked, very successful Bollywood star. And thousands of people, or even more than that, lakhs of people were kind of his people, they liked Dharmendra ji. So I think this kind of race for TRP, rating is very deplorable, if it is so. So did they declare that he died?
They did yesterday, like news channels were doing that, and now like he's like still alive and he's doing fine in the hospital, but it was like, who wants to jump the
I
gun
know,
first in
but
doing it.
that shows that our media in India is still immature, and they have to be more mature about this thing.
Absolutely. So my last question to you is about, of course, health. The weather is getting colder, I would say. So what should we all do to protect ourselves from
Well,
this
keep
cold?
yourself warm.
No, that is understood.
Keep
but-
yourself warm, and of course, as weather gets more colder, the more viruses and health issue arises, and so one has to be very careful. And again, we say the same thing every week that they should get vaccination against the flu, COVID, and other syncytial viruses to protect themselves and protect the family member.
All right. And the last question that's coming to my mind with, this, of course, the government shutdown and everything else, this is the holiday season. And a lot of people are be traveling. And of course, you can say that, half the airport, half the flights are getting canceled. So, what kind of message would you want to give out to people out for that?
Well, I think I would like to tell both Democrats and Republican senators and congressmen, those who are in a position to decide, they should end this thing sooner than later because people are suffering. But my guess is probably it will settle by end of this week, and probably it will not affect the Thanksgiving or Christmas holidays.
Because a lot of flights, like 1,200 flights yesterday got canceled in
Right.
U.S. and
it's bad because
It's
it
bad.
affects even airline itself.
industry, yeah.
Because it affects the economy of the airlines,
Absolutely. So, any last messages you have for our viewers for today?
No, I think let's see. It will be very interesting to see what's happening in the Bihar in India, and it will be very interesting to see what happens here in when the government opens. And these two things are very interesting this week, and hope for best.
All right. We wish you all the best for this week, and we'll be back next week again.
Thank you, and we'll see you next week. Till then, goodbye.